Good morning, players. We have a verdict in the Diddy RICO case. After 14 hours of deliberations, Diddy turned to his family and said, "I'm coming home." That was because the jury found him not guilty on the more serious charge of RICO, a racketeering conspiracy. Also found him not guilty on two charges of actual trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion of Cassie and Jane Doe. But he was found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution, two counts. He faces up to 10 years in the clink on both counts. Now, the attorneys have a couple of hours to present a letter to the judge on whether Diddy should be allowed to be out of prison awaiting his sentence. This is going to be very interesting because the government has already contended that they plan to argue that he should not be released pending his sentence. And also they're going to argue for some incarceration, some extensive incarceration on those two charges that he was found guilty of. All right, players, so the verdict is in. We have a statement from Cassie's attorney. Let's go take a look at that. So the statement says, in part, this entire criminal process started when our client, Cassie Ventura, had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 2023. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of actual trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, she paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. By coming forward with her experience, Cassie has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the fight for justice. We must repeat with no reservation that we believe and support our client, who showed exemplary courage throughout this trial. Now, according to ABC, who was in the courtroom when the verdict was announced, Diddy was shaking his feet under the table, and after those verdicts were read completely, he turned to his family and said, "I'm coming home, baby." So now we're just waiting for the attorneys to turn their letters into the judge on whether Diddy should be released pending his sentence. And also we have to await that sentence. Again, he faces 10 years on each count of transportation to engage in prostitution. All right, players, put your thoughts in the comments. Is this the verdict that you thought that we would get? I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. As I said this in the beginning, that I thought it was going to be very hard to prove that RICO charge, so I'm not surprised by that. But it's very interesting that they found him not guilty on actual trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, but found him guilty on transportation to engage in that prostitution. I guess they're saying that he didn't force him to do it, so that makes sense. All right, players, put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Mother reporting once again for the Black Accurate News.